Sometimes, love does not arrive as sunlight. Sometimes, it crawls in through the cracks of loneliness, quiet, forbidden, and far too human. Adana had been married to Chijioke for 5 years. 5 long, faithful years that felt like a lifetime of waiting for warmth that never came. He was a good man, stable, respected, kind in the way a teacher is kind to a student. But kindness is not the same as love. Their home in Lekki was beautiful. Polished floors, framed smiles, and the sound of silence heavy in the air. At night, Adana often lay awake, listening to the clock tick. She used to count the seconds between his breaths, hoping one day he would turn to her and whisper something soft. He never did. One morning, news arrived that Chijioke's younger brother, Kenechukwu, was returning from London. He had been away for years, building a life abroad. When Adana met him at the airport, something in the air shifted. He looked like her husband, but with a laughter in his eyes, with light in his steps. He hugged her tightly, and for a moment, she felt her heart remember how it used to beat. The house came alive again. Kenechukwu told stories at dinner, made her laugh until she forgot she was supposed to be lonely. Chijioke smiled proudly at his brother, never noticing the way their eyes met for a little too long. It began innocently, a shared joke, a lingering glance while passing the pepper soup, the kind of moments that feel like nothing until they start to feel like everything. One rainy afternoon, Chijioke received a call, a business emergency. He had to travel out of town for a week. Adana stood by the door as he packed. He kissed her forehead like a duty, not a desire. And when the car drove off, the silence returned. But this time it was not empty, it was alive. For the first 2 days, she kept her distance. She cooked, cleaned, and avoided conversation. But Kenechukwu was always around, helping her carry water, fixing the flickering light in the kitchen, asking about her dreams. One night, during dinner, the power went out. The candlelight painted shadows across his face. He looked at her and said quietly, "You deserve more than silence, Adana." Her heart stumbled. No one had ever said her name like that before. Soft, like a prayer. She stood up to clear the table, but he reached out and touched her wrist. It was just a touch, but it burned through her skin. She froze. He let go. That night, neither of them slept. The next morning, he avoided her eyes. So did she. But everything in the air had changed. When their hands brushed again while reaching for the same cup, it was no accident. By the 4th day, it was impossible to pretend anymore. She found him sitting outside, shirtless, fixing a broken chair. The sun was setting behind him, gold spilling across his skin. She wanted to turn away. She didn't. "You should rest," she said. "I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I see you." The words hung heavy between them. The chair fell, the world blurred, and before she could think, his lips were on hers. It was wrong. It was electric. It was everything she had ever been denied. When she pulled away, she was shaking. "We can't," she whispered. "He's your brother." He looked at her with eyes that carried both guilt and longing. "I know, but tell me you don't feel it." She couldn't. She didn't. In that moment, every wall she had built cracked. Every vow she had sworn felt like a chain she could no longer bear. As the rain began to fall again, she stepped back, whispered, "Please, don't make me choose," and ran inside. That night Chijioke called. He said he would be home sooner than planned. He sounded cheerful. Adana smiled through the phone, her voice steady, but her soul trembling. When she hung up, she turned and found Kenechukwu standing at the doorway. Their eye met one last time before everything would change. Love can be holy, or it can be ruin. But when it comes dressed in truth, even sin begins to feel like salvation. That night, neither of them slept, because dawn was coming too fast, and with it, the weight of what they had done and what they were yet to do.